Welcome and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very, very special Monday edition of Un Poco Mas. Obviously, as you all know, the Monday edition of Un Poco Mas sets the tone for the entire week. In the stock markets worldwide, it's kind of like, if we give you that little bit more, I think the markets may respond. Guys, of course, we're talking about Sofi Technologies Incorporated, ticker symbol SOFI. Guys, it's just been one of those days. Not on this stock. Stock's fine. The thing I notice more than anything is just how the volume kind of goes in this very neat algo-controlled mountain. Let me share my screen here with you guys. Sorry, tiny stupid monitor on the other side, but so all the way down to 30 million shares traded on the day. If you go back over the last, I don't know, what does this show, 5 days, 30 million, 36 up to 58, 63, and then 50. So all the volumes being sucked out of the stock. They really, I think, want to play up that dead stock narrative prior to the ER, but facts are very stubborn things when it comes to this stock. If you look at Anthony Noto and what he was pricing in, just give you guys a look at the short interest. It's interesting because it says they keep returning shares, millions and millions of shares every single day, but the short interest has actually gone up over the midterm, except the very last day or two. And the shares on loan, if anything, have gone sideways. Cost to borrow, utilization all seem to be plummeting, but Ortex has been way off lately on the data. In fact, they're showing 4 million shares returned right now. I would guess they'll show the short interest going up tomorrow, but this is what they're showing, so you never can tell. But going back to SoFi, going back to Noto said in his last talk that he was looking for a 3/4 point cut throughout this year. He was basically looking, I think, for 2 quarter point cuts. Probably we're going to get at least a point. If things sort of trend the way they're trending, we already got half a point, maybe a quarter and a quarter. So you have October, November, December. It's hard to say. I mean, that could be all the cutting if economic indicators kind of turn around and look too hot and the Fed remains unsure. Obviously, Fed Jerome Powell is not too sure of himself. He's been behind the curve. He wants people to think he's ahead of the curve. I just don't think, if you've seen the South Park where they talk about the rulers of the economy and then they show, a chicken getting its head cut off and they throw it on the game board, kind of runs around. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. But if you look at sort of the too big to fail, what happened when, with the cascading bank failures, Bear Stearns, all that, where taxpayers, basically bailed out the financial industry with the help of some of the bigger banks. And I know they paid the money back and all that. I don't think they should have let all the banks fail or anything. I'm not criticizing that decision, but it just goes to show you that the masters of the economy, the politicians, the Fed, all these other, market makers, those who really control things, they're not really everything can spiral. Everything can get out of control very, very quickly because the economy is based on nothing more than faith. I mean, full faith and credit in the institutions of the United States government, which are starting to look fairly tenuous in many different respects, not the least of which is just the cold salami to the face fiscal reality that our debt is completely out of control, and none of our politicians have any appetite to address that. Rather than looking at our books and getting things in order and making tough decisions, they want to mint $1 trillion coin, or they want to pull a solid gold carrot out of their wherever. Like, nobody wants to talk about serious paying down of the national debt, which is necessary because the interest on the debt for the first time surpassed our defense spending. And it crowds, the supply of lenders. It basically crowds out people, raises interest rates. So it's not good. This debt is not good in any respect. I think everybody knows that, but nobody wants to deal with it because it's just completely politically unpalatable. So In any case, guys, I kind of forget what I was talking about. I guess I was supposed to be talking about SoFi, but 31 million shares traded on the day. So the open was 812, would close at 805. Traded between 792. 792 was actually the low of the day, which is obviously not where you, or 791. It kicked up 1 penny or something at the very end. But obviously, you don't want to close at the low of the day. Not a good trend, but this was just a really, really weird, kind of stinky, smelly algo day. It was just flirting with 796, and then it was just pinned between 799, 798, and $8. Kind of, I don't know, just really odd. The volume, not odd, I guess SoFi does this a lot, but the volume sucks out of it. And what do you see kind of corresponding as the volume goes out? You just see this chorus of media, cheerleaders, pundits coming out and just telling everyone to start buying SoFi. I mean, I'll show you sort of where I think the chart is going. I think very clearly we've moved into sort of this midterm uptrend. You do see higher lows. You see, with this minor exception right here on the 1st of August, end of July, you're seeing higher highs. And if you look at this top line, this top blue line that's forming this ascending wedge, which I believe to be very bullish, and I think is going to actually take us up here to that magic 1013 number. But if you look at this number, this was just coincidentally, and I don't believe in coincidence, so I say that sarcastically. This was just coincidentally support way back here on March 18, and then again on April 2nd, and then it formed a support on this, all the way from probably for more than a week here toward the middle end of April. And then it just kind of acts as like a teeter-totter. I look for these lines. Do they have meaning? You look for data points. This lower line, it's real foggy. It's real sketchy. This is just kind of based on made-ups. But it is working with the both 50 and 150-day moving average crossing here. So this could be quite bullish in sort of the medium short term. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say because obviously you've tested this line 3 times. So could triple top just become, just be rejected and come all the way down? Could, regain support, come all the way down. Oh, here, low 7s, mid to low 7s. And if it doesn't catch any support there, I mean, we could be back, mid 5s is potentially possible. But I think we'd probably catch some support again, high 6s. That just seems to be very, very sticky. I had talked extensively last few weeks and actually last year for, 793 was a very key level. So I would really like to see it hold this point, have a green day tomorrow. But that's going to kind of depend on the markets. Like the markets have been very fickle. FinTech, people think, oh, it's good for fintech, it's good for banks, the rate cuts, and then the next day up, it could be bad because the economy is going to get too weak. There could be too many defaults. So it's easy to make those sort of dueling banjos argument on the back of this one. But my meaningless shirt master graffiti there is there to give you some noise pollution. So I talked a lot about this, and people made fun of me as they're wont to do, but going back to just my original point before I completely forget, Noto had priced in 0.75% rate cuts this year. So that's what his analysis was coming to, their projections for this year going into 2025 and 2025. If we see more like, 1 or 1.25, you could expect upward revision and guidance. And really, what does the market seem to care about when it comes to these growth stocks? They care about guidance, and they care about the credibility of that guidance. I mean, a company like Upstart can just throw out a number based on 1 quarter of semi-turnaround, and the market just goes insane because institutions own that company, and it was heavily shorted. So you expect it to go insane. It's just a crazy pump. I think it's going to completely fall apart as the economy kind of levels out and down, kind of bleeds sideways and down while the Fed does their dirty work. But that's just me. But I don't want to get into the weeds of who's saying what in particular, but you just see everybody cheerleading SoFi. Jim Cramer, for no reason on SoFi, after he hadn't even interviewed Noto this time, it's going to go higher. He's talking about a fintech. He's talking about, it's a tech company. And as you go down, I don't know where he talks about actually about SoFi, but his quote on SoFi is basically, it's going higher because it is in fact a tech company. And with these rate cuts, it's going to show the potential that AI and technology play in this company that just hasn't had a chance to work yet. And the wheel strategy hasn't had a chance to work yet either. And then a lot of people are starting this thing. This will be the next stock to follow Palantir's path. And before you get caught up in the hyperbole of this guy, Adam Spatico, I like to check on these people. And if you look at him, he has an incredible success rate. He's number 374 out of almost 30,000 bloggers and in the top 600 out of almost 39,000 experts. So I'm not saying this is fail safe, but this guy has a pretty damn good record, and he doesn't have just a couple ratings. He has 76 ratings under his belt. So that's a reasonably high sample size. And 57 of those 76 actually made a profit. So I don't think, SoFi is going to 30 or 40 or anything like that anytime soon. Like I said, I'm looking for it to go to 10, 13 in sort of the near midterm or to the near term, I guess. Next 5 to 6 weeks, I would say. For me, that's the near term. For many of you, that's like long term. But in any case, so this guy knows what he's talking about, and he's just kind of drawing a parallel. I'm not going to go through this, but I encourage you to read it. He talks about, Palantir's trip, and obviously Palantir was up here at 30. A lot of dumb people like me bought in about 8 and then sold about 18, like Tevis. And no, Tevis is actually very smart, unlike myself, as well as young and successful. Oh, I hate Canada. But he's cold. It's so cold up there. But, if you spend 3/4 of your time on vacation at a tropical island, life's not so bad. If you know how to say "this is not my girlfriend" in 8 languages, In any case, I don't want to throw Tevis under the bus, because I'm sure he has a couple of nice girlfriends in Canada as well. Guy looks like a young Elvis. He manages teams. Next thing you know, he'll be teaching a course. Oh, man. Princess J in the house. Oh my goodness. I just noticed her in the comments. What a lovely woman. In any case, welcome and hello and welcome, guys. It's Un Poco Mas. Today, the Un Poco Mas is going to be this little tiny Dodger helmet that I will wear on my head like a trained monkey. Okay, guys. That's going to fall off. So welcome and hello and welcome. Like, why does he think SoFi looks so much like Palantir? So just cut to the chase. SoFi's trajectory looks similar to Palantir's due to high levels of competition. So people basically doubted that SoFi would really catch on as an online bank, but he's talking about it. People also thought Palantir would not be able to succeed in private sector software market. Now, I would argue they're just getting to that point. The growth is getting there. There's no margins there as yet, but there will be. I mean, they're going to scale, but I think SoFi is growing just about as fast as Palantir. I think they're going to have better margins than Palantir. I think Galileo's sales model is going to be a lot lighter than Palantir's. I think Palantir's is much more technical. There's going to be a lot deeper involvement on an ongoing basis. It's going to cost money. It's going to cut into margins. I also think they're just these contracts. They put sort of caps on the amount of profit you can make. I think SoFi's margins are unlimited as they scale, and obviously not unlimited. I mean, they're not going to be 50%, but I think also 20% is like a base case. And I think Noto always says that with a wink. We're shooting for a 20% net margin. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, mum's the word. Oh, hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. And by the way, hello and welcome. Let me welcome you, greet you, say hello and welcome, greetings, salutations. Pardon me, guys. I agree with you, Yukeko. I think it's going to be over $10 here just after earnings, if not even before. And I think 2025 by I think 15 in the next 101 years. I think we could get there. Just inflation over the next 100 years should get us to 15. So you are ambitious as you are snarky, Yukeko. I know you want out of the stock. I guess you broke even and sold, you were saying, I think, but I don't think this is an $8 stock, guys. We're talking, 3x this year's sales for a company growing 25%. Growing EBITDA rapidly. Net profit is about to explode. We haven't seen the wheel strategy work in a low interest rate environment. We haven't seen any of their strategies work with a lot of members. So I don't know. I think it's the exact wrong time to dump this thing, but I don't try to tell people what to do because obviously, like I said, it could just shoot back down in the fives if it breaks through this little fake turd of a support wedge I just pulled out of my ample posterior. Oh, Lottie. Yeah, Kramer is a stock panhandling chimpanzee, Pete. I completely agree with you. They did studies where they show he's just an incredibly bad stock picker, but he's not even really picking stocks. He's not researching these stocks. You think he cares? The guy's multi-billionaire investing for his, charitable trust. What's he spending his money on? Not hair growth products, not tropical vacations where he gets tan. He just sits inside all day, like going over stocks and just being depressed. I don't know. Hello and welcome. So SoFi's business model does have a couple unusual advantages. They talk about this is just, it does not have brick and mortar branch locations. Digital only approach, big selling point to young customers who don't want to spend time going to a bank and be more likely to have their loan applications rejected by traditional institutions. And SoFi can give you a better deal on interest, and SoFi can give you a better deal on your loan products and everything else. And that's exactly why. Because they have a superior, lighter cost structure and they can adjust their headcount much, much quicker. If you have people manning facilities with hours, brick and mortar, you just can't make adjustments. You can't be nimble. Can't be quick. Anthony Noto jumped over the candlestick. And they are in San Francisco. Unfortunately, Candlestick Park is now defunct. And if you want to watch some Niners football, you got to get your happy ass down to Santa Clarita. A bunch of billionaires. Whole stadium's luxury boxes. There's no seats. Cheapest ticket in the park is $28,000 or 6 Bitcoin. SoFi also has a broad ecosystem of financial services beyond lending. It offers checking accounts, credit cards, for example. And its clients can use its app to invest in the stock market. Oh my God. Fuck me. That diversified suite of products is offered with a high level of convenience by a company that feels less archaic than legacy banks and brokerage firms. SoFi's done a nice job cross-selling various products to its customers, which led to stronger you're going to get on. So he goes on and on and on. He just drones on. He just goes on. There's charts and graphs on and on about how great SoFi is, and you can read it for yourself. Just as the advent of AI played a major, so this was the catalyst, this whole AI thing. Palantir's stock price went crazy. Palantir's sales and profits have not gone crazy for their stock to go from 8 to 33. It's a narrative, guys. It's a narrative. It's hype. It's puffery. It's salesmanship. It's a dude with crazy hair. He's got a great vision. This thing could be huge. It could be huge. It could not be huge. Anyway, you just don't know. SoFi is going to be big. It's already locked and loaded. Hello, guys. We just had Beauty and Brains in the office, like you can't believe. In any case, guys, oh my God, it's Billy Jack, my man in Texarkana. Billy Jack would have been a male model if he wasn't such a great investor. You can tell by the intensity of his eyes. Tell he's done a lot of hunting of men. You ever read that book in school, The Most Dangerous Game? That was written about Billy Jack. I think hunting people's... I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. Sorry, Billy Jack's never murdered anybody in a hunting, strange human hunt. I digress. Sorry about that, Billy Jack. Don't mean to disparage you. Or people generally from the South. It's not really South, Texarkana. Not the deep South. What do you call that? I don't know. Anyway, hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. No, guys, I'm not drunk. It is just Poco, Moss. You feeling a little tingle deep in your balls? You feel like you just got a hernia lifting a can of Campbell's soup? Feeling like you caught restless leg syndrome, got a case of dry eye, your lower back pain kicking in, feel like you got a bloody ulcer nipping at your heels? Well, that must be your old buddy Danny Deals coming at you with another exciting episode of Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. And I'd like to thank our studio audience for joining us. I see Giuliano Bologna in the front row. I'm blinded. The lights caught his forehead, and I probably won't be able to see for a couple of weeks. But Starlink is thinking of harnessing the power of the bologna sandwich's forehead to enhance its signal in less developed parts of the world. That's a quest for Elon Musk. That's over Danny Deal's pay grade. If the bologna sandwich wants to participate, he'll probably get some stock options. Starlink, probably get some stock options. Probably get a free lift to Mars. Because that's where his predictions are. They're just out of this world, folks. They're out of this world. It's DJ Patchy Drizzle, your buddy. I don't get the party started, guys, but I'll get you home on time. I don't even know what I'm talking about, guys. It's this episode is sort of crashing and burning, isn't it? It's like the same reason you want to watch a car crash. I forgot I titled this episode, if you have a tiny wang and an even smaller bankroll, must watch before the next full moon. The thing is, guys, they have strategies for small accounts. They have wheel strategies, option strategies. For the small wang trader, there's very little online. There's very few courses. I haven't even seen the Canadians bring out a course. But I know you guys are out there south of the equator playing a little small ball, choking up on the bat. Old twig and berries. Guys, we don't want to go too deep into the gutter with this show, but that ship has kind of sailed. It's a little bit ridiculous. But no, SoFi breaking down below 8. A lot of people, I think 793 is a much more important number than 8. But if we start to fall much below this number, get a couple days of confirmation, I really want to watch that tenuous support line, because this line is an absolute made-up Fugazi turd. I just drew it on there because I could only connect those 2 points out of desperation. But the slope says nope. It's not. Ascending wedge. What am I? I got an ascending wedge, coming out of my tuchus, if you know what I mean. This chart, it's like a flying. I don't know what this thing wants to do. It's not sure what it wants to do. Trading in a very narrow range. The range starts to narrow. Air Force has made a point that there's a couple of gaps hanging out there, a couple of matzo balls hanging out there in the air, but there's both downside and upside gaps. I don't know how useful it is to look at those. Maybe yes, maybe no. When I talk about narrative, I'm talking about a few things. You guys remember how negative tip ranks usually is on SoFi? They have negative article after negative article, and if a lot of things are positive are going on with SoFi, they'll just leave negative headlines up here. Look at what's up here right now. I've never seen this before. Does Wall Street expect SoFi to rebound? Here's why SoFi Technologies will continue to grow. SoFi Technologies is a multi-bagger stock in the making. Now's not the time to make. Okay, that's one negative. But ARM versus SoFi, buy the fear, says top investor. Basically, hype, buy. It's going to go higher. And here's another one I was talking about, which is Goldman Sachs unsexy AI stock picks. Basically, Goldman looks for deep value, as do I. I've often likened myself to a Goldman Sachs trader. I don't have the nipples that Invest with Henry has. I mean, I do have a bigger man boob. I'll give him that. He's very fit. He used to work at Goldman Sachs. Watch his show for 3 seconds. You'll hear several drops of the name Goldman Sachs. But we all can't be stock mo, folks. I have never taught at the high school level. What exactly does that mean to teach at the high school level? Is that like a GED program, an English as a second language program? Are you homeschooling a special needs guy? No, I love stock mo. I know the guys, and I'm being very sincere. He's like the great teacher you want to have, just a nice guy, helps out after all the projects. I'm not sure he knows a lot about stocks. I mean, he was hyping a lot of garbage pretty high. But so do I. If we're going to be honest, my picks are garbage too. So, who am I to cast stones when I live in a glass shack? You know what I mean? Guys? You know what I mean? Oh, it's not funny. But if you don't laugh, you got to cry. Am I right? Or am I right? Right. Air Force is here, 650. I think they're going to 650. Don't think so. Not for a minute. Quarter's over. Stock didn't come close to falling apart. Noto was looking for 3/4 of a point this year. We're probably going to see more like 1.25. We're going to see much more demand than Noto was anticipating. More cross-selling. I think the street sees it. I think the street knows by now that the bear case, the short case, was a complete fugazi. But anyway, I'm not going to bag gold. Anyway, my average low 5s. Woo, I did well last week on options. Not a lurker knows what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to show you guys that. You'll get all violent. Because you got the intelligence, the patience of a caveman, and the looks to boot. But anyway, guys, I got Carl Seamark here. He makes the best mattress in the industry. You get a 30-year warranty on that mattress. Doesn't matter what you're doing on it. Doesn't matter if you got a team of Romanian gymnasts and an orgy bouncing on that thing like a trampoline. Carl Seamark and his mattress company are going to honor that warranty. 7 days a week. Twice on Sunday. You know what I mean? Carl Seamark, the mark of quality. Get all my mattresses from him. Of course, I'm a toper, so I wear one out every couple of months, but that's neither here nor there. Katie Wentworth in the house. Gap at 540. Shut your mouth, Katie. Gap at 540. Let's send you to Baby Gap for a new outfit. Somebody's playing on mom's computer. Get Katie, get your mom, Katie, back out here. Give me a real prediction. I don't want to hear 540. Sounded like Air Force. Bringing me down. Don't bring me down. Ooh, don't bring me down. If I could get any lower. You know, guys, a little secret for you. Princess Jay's a great dancer. In addition to being quite fetching, lovely, wonderful person, she can really brighten an office. I'll tell you that. Oh, baby. In any case, guys, I'm a little bit distracted right now, but I can tell you it's not Bobby Joe's witty comments. But we got, they need to make a sign, 300 square feet. I see upward trend line from the ATL. Recent low shows wedge ending at 650. Could be. Yeah, it could be. I wouldn't be terribly angry at 650. I don't want to see 540. 540, just get me a Quaalude and knock me out till after the ER if we're going down to 540, because I can't take it. If we get down below my average, I'm going to panic. I'm going to get the fat sweats, guys. You don't want to see my broadcast when I get the fat sweats. So, you get an big guy, he gets overheated. You take 2 cold showers, doesn't matter. Still be sweating for an hour. It's a fat sweats. Oh, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Anyway, yeah, Carl Seamark, I'm gonna buy your entire inventory of mattresses because we got to go to the mattresses. Sometimes, you got to go to the mattresses. What's that? Who was it? Clemenza said that. You got to clear out the bad blood. We got Bobby Joe, bigger than 10 square feet. And make a I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Gaps don't always fill. Of course they don't. We got gaps to the upside, gaps to the downside. We got gaps all over the place. Many of you have a gap tooth. I don't know. What do we got? We got Savage Wall Street, back from in between luxury vacations. How's it going, Savage? Hope you're doing well. No Lambos. I don't want a Lambo. I've got a lot of cars. Not as many as I used to have, but I prefer C10 trucks, 67 to 72. I don't fit in a Lambo. Middle-aged fat guy with questionable knees in a Lambo. Think it through, Savage. Even if I had the money, I look like a tiny wang asshole, even more so than I already do. I don't need that kind of trouble. Hey, Mom, look at the fat guy in the Lambo. Like, don't worry about him, Billy. He just has a tiny penis and too much money. Oh, Mom, you're a cut up. I won't tell Dad where you've been. Thanks, Billy. Let's go have ice cream. The secrets we keep, guys. You know how it goes. We got Thomas Puzak. Hello and welcome, Thomas Puzak. What's going on? Like that name. Fun to say. Puzak. Boom. Puzak. What happened to you? Oh, I got Puzaked out on the expressway. Trying to change a tire. Prostitute I used to know came along. Got in a fist fight with my wife. Before you know it, I got 4 state troopers beating the hell out of me, tasing me. Fireman Pete came by to check me out, cleared me. They took me straight to jail. Guys, you know how it goes. Let's see. We got M Russo 215. Hello and welcome. We got Money. The better much say in the There better be much to say in a little time. You know, this is a very short show, guys. I'm only going to go for probably 5 to 6 minutes on this one. Oh, wait, I've already been talking for 29 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm completely full of shit. But seriously, I'm going to cap it at 40 minutes because I got to head home. I got more important things to do. People to see, things to do, places to go. We got JP Panic. Good afternoon. Buenos dias, JP. We got Palacio Furniture, Buy Furniture, and Sofa. You got anything good, Palacio? I'm looking for a new place. Looking for a bigger place. I'm going to need to have some nice furnishings. Finger circles. Something nice. Hurricane Lopez presents Un Poco Moss. I told you about my tiny wang and small bank account. Full confidence. I know you did, Chris. I didn't name you. I didn't name names. I said a guy with his first letter of his name is C. He's got an avatar that says C. It's teal. And his name rhymes with piss. Nobody could have guessed it was you, Chris. We got Air Force Spanky. We got Javier, only Tambo. Oh, the tambourine. We got SJ Tavares. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello, SJ. Hello and welcome. I'm making a heart sign. You can't see. Hello and welcome. So, guys, we have exactly 10 minutes left in this broadcast. Come hell or high water, like that movie with what's his name, Jeff Bridges. It's actually pretty good. I forget that dark-haired guy's name. They got the crazy brother. Like, come on, brother. Anyway, so Richard Vaughn is here. Vaughn getting junior, number 5. We got long, short, long, short, eat my shorts. That's probably the best comment I've had. We got Jeff Presley. Hello and welcome. I'm the king of the visor. I certainly am. This thing is actually very, very hot. My forehead's getting super sweaty. Ugh, hate that visor. Anyway, hello and welcome. I'm blinded now. I'm blinded. The light. Put me back in. I went to a doctor. Don't go to Dr. Acula. I love Mitch Hedberg. Like, rice is great when you're hungry and you want 5,000 of something. I saw a commercial. They said, forget everything you know about slipcovers. So I did. Like, I don't know. Rest in peace, Mitch. What a great guy. So I have many leaps, yet no dunking thus far. Makes sense to me. Yeah, I mean, the leaps, to me, they look pretty good. I mean, we're sitting right at 8. We just came off near 6. I think it was like 5 weeks ago. So I don't have a big problem. Pushed up, pumped up 8. It was basically, if you look at the chart, it pumped up to 803 and then 828 and then 852. So very nice uniform higher highs, algo working, higher lows so far, but this trend is so short, guys. I mean, really, you're only calling this thing for, I don't know, a little over 2 months. So that's not a lot to work with, even in the midterm. This is very hard to say we're in an uptrend. I mean, it looks like we are from the garbage I drew, these, girl and boy wedgie snow cone vector deals, but it certainly doesn't prove anything. Definitely we're making some higher highs here. Another lower low or another higher low and then coming up. That would be very nice for some confirmation and pushing through this line, because obviously 3 attempts have broken through it on a daily, but haven't broken through it for any, consistent consolidation. Last consolidation was here, in the low 7s, really. So, that's kind of where things are at. There's a reason I think everybody is starting to pile on this SoFi bandwagon, and that's that a lot of institutions were buying the stock in Q2, and I think when we see the filings for Q3, that trend will accelerate even further. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think so. I mean, you see these latest filings, 923, you've got this company, Neuberger Berman, long, short from 598, 2 million shares. But then you have First Trust Multicap Growth, Alpha Dex Fund, increased their shares 16%, only 27,000. Bank of New York Mellon, U.S. Midcap Core Equity ETF increased 6%, 138,000. So significant position. Also, their First Trust Midcap Growth Alpha Dex Fund also increased 7%, 149,000. And average cost on that 8 and 6. So, they're newer to the party and their average is good. And that's what we want to see. We want to see not only the institutions, that are long term, such as BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Fidel, all these companies, and we're seeing new players come to the table. Like Morgan Fudley, when they're downgrading the stock, they're actually accumulating. You'll see that in the filings. Remember, ratings are a tool, guys, and they're not a tool for us. They're a tool for market makers. They're who pay these guys. They're who own these magazines. They're who own these channels. They're who own these mediums. They're who own the media companies. To think they don't have any cross interest in financial matters is just naive. This is not objective information, guys. They want to part you with your money as low as possible. They want you to shove your hard-earned money and buy calls and send it to market makers and, Birdie and Savage so they can take luxury vacations and buy, chromed out Harley Davidson motorcycles and leather vests. And neatly trim their facial hair at the barber 5 times a week. Press their old lady. So I don't know what I'm talking about. What else is new? Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. So Max Payne, they're showing, this always has been crashing on me here, but it was sitting at 8. I don't know if we can get it. This site always crashed, but they're really good. I like how their calculation is displayed graphically, and they show you in dollars, percentages, the whole thing. But you guys are going to have to trust me. Max Payne was sitting at $8, and it was pretty uniform. And the puts were weak in volume. There was some open interest there, but in volume, the puts were pretty weak. So it didn't look like the options sellers were like looking to push down hard, maybe looking to hold, low 8s this week. Hard to say because, the last couple of weeks, Max Payne, they've been closing $1 above Max Payne. I mean, it jumped up to $7.50 last Thursday, but the stock ended up closing right at $8. But people think, oh, market makers, option sellers got hurt. They didn't get hurt at all. They're playing both, as Sean Connery said, you're playing both sides. You're playing both sides, Trebell. He goes, oh, clear this. If you've ever seen SCTV, their Jeopardy skit with Alex Trebell, it's Eugene Levy. Oh my God. You might know him. The younger guys know him as the dad from Schitt's Creek, but SCTV was just a hilarious show. Rick Moranis, Catherine O'Hara, John Candy, Joe Flaherty. Oh my God, Guy Caballero, Yellow Bellies, these Mackenzie brothers were just so dumb, but just so funny. If you've ever seen Kids in the Hall, it's kind of that sensibility that just, Canadian hit you over the head with the comedy with a 2x4 and a jug of maple syrup and send you home happy. Okay, guys, 38 minutes into this turd. We've definitely run out of gas and crashed and burned about as hard as you possibly could. I've got my visor off because I got the fat guy sweats going. We've discussed trading strategies for tiny wang traders, those with a small bankroll or both. They work fine. SoFi would have fell low 7s, had a low 6 and a low IQ. Thinks it's getting stronger. I think the fundamentals are too strong. I think management's telling you EPS is going to explode. Interest rate cut was more than they expected. What is going to push it below their guidance? Their guidance is always so conservative. They're always sandbagging. I mean, they beat the top line by a huge margin last time, and they generally beat it by a certain margin. But last time is really, really big, and Wall Street's not looking for that much. I mean, some raised guidance like Seaport from 2 cents to 4 cents. I'm personally looking for 5 cents, guys. I don't know what you're looking for, but I think this is going to be a breakout quarter for SoFi. Whether that's going to mean the share price is going to go up and stay up, could they sell the news on that ER even if they make 5 cents? They sure could. They could short the hell out of it up to 35% short interest like they did on Affirm or Upstart, one or the other. Do they want to do that with SoFi? I don't think so, because the risk with SoFi is no longer there. SoFi is very safe. SoFi is fairly diversified. SoFi's shown that their loan book is not falling apart. The value's there. They're very disciplined with who they lend to. I mean, SoFi could have just been spitting out personal loans the last 2 quarters. Had record top line. They could have just flooded the market with personal loans. Could have dipped into there. Just sold and sold and sold. People need, but SoFi is not about the quick buck, the quick hit, the quick pump. They're trying to get the stock price up when their options are going to pay. 2026, 2027, not right now. So you have to be patient with the stock. Guys, that's about all I have today. Again, volume coming out of the stock, but the stock looks pretty good for what it is. So they're returning shares. The short keeps going up. Data is all over the place right now. When that happens, I just kind of look at the fundamentals, look at the landscape, look at everything that's happening, and it all looks bullish for SoFi. I mean, you have that Q2 ER guidance raise. You have the half-point rate cut. I think Noto was expecting a quarter point. You have Q3 being over in just a week. The loan book didn't fall apart. Nothing fell apart. Defaults didn't go crazy. We didn't enter some, drastic recession. We didn't, basically nothing extremely negative has happened that's going to affect SoFi, negatively to the point of guidance. And then in just over a month, 5 weeks, we have another ER coming out. And what does the market want to see? The market wants to see a big guidance raise. And I think that's exactly what Noto and team are going to give us. Big guidance raise. That's what I'm looking for. Big. Guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. I really appreciate you watching. It's Un Poco Moss. Want to thank Not a Lurker. Want to thank Alberto Bertiablas. Not sure if they were here. Want to thank everybody for watching. Want to thank Billy Jack. Want to thank you, Keko, Ghost, Chris, Air Force, Brennan, Jeff, of course, Princess J. Want to thank Thomas Puzak, Ukeko, Stockman Mark, Bobby Joe, Dale, of course, the great Carl Seamark, the Mattress King of Chicago. Want to thank Jeff Presley, Katie Wentworth, and whoever hacked Katie Wentworth's account to point out that dastardly gap of $5.40. Want to thank Chris. Want to thank everybody, Stockman, Air Force, Ian Brockwell. $10 in a year? Come on, homie. No, I think it's going to be $10 in a month. Come on, homie. It's been up to 11 and 10, several times in the last couple of years. So it's definitely not unheard of. Re-rating to go up? No, I don't think re-ratings. I think an upside rating, the stock would go down. When they re-rate it to the downside, it goes up. They rate it down when it's, should be going. And then I don't think it has anything. It just has to do with what they want to do in the very, very short term. Those ratings, people digest them and then they ignore them, but they move the market over the short term. Well, I think it's not getting that much more than a bank multiple right now if you price in the growth. I think they're getting nothing for tech, but I don't have time to go into it right now, guys. I got to go, and hope you guys have a great day. It's Un Pokemon, Standard Deals, Stock Terrence, Hurricane Lopez, it's Alberto Bertiablas, it's Not a Lurker, it's Prince J, it's Cutes, it's all of us. You guys have a great day. Peace. I'm out. What's up, Steve in the Mountains? How you doing? Good to see you.